The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour, 877-927-6648, and we are looking at the Dow on this Friday, the 3rd of December, down 30 at 34,610. If there was a rally that exceeded the 34,800 was the high today, but actually exceeded 35,000 either today or Monday, that would have been a takeoff level that we see in other two-day expansions from a very important low. This failure is suggesting that what I've been talking about for a little while, that the Dow is about to find some kind of support, and the rotation, the cyclical rotation, meaning that we go from one sector to the other. Remember, tops are made in rotation, bottoms are made with synchronicity at the low. So we've got the Dow holding quite well, down 46, down 0.13%. The S&P, this is now 500 stocks, down 0.41%, down 18 at 45.57. Hit the 9-period moving average, which is still negative, and pull back. We've got the QQQ down sharply, almost taking out yesterday's 300. I must just check on that. It can't be right. I think I forgot to update it. 384.34. There was a round number low, but it was the day before. Anyway, let's just get rid of this because we don't need it. We're going to see what happens later today. So far, the low today is 384.63. And one of the reasons why we've been short since just about the top is that rotation. When I went through so many NASDAQ stocks, do you realize that some stocks have had 20, 30%? Look at this. DocuSign, which was supposed to be the darling of the online signage, had a little bit of a pullback. It makes an all-time high at, I can't believe this, 314.70 in September. It drops to the 200-period moving average, which gives us a really good spurt from the 240 level up to the 288.50, makes a peak C1, C2. There was a peak D in the Chapman wave. We're always looking for peak Ds. A peak D at 314.70 on the 3rd of September. This one was a lower double top at 288.50. And what happens is it comes out with earnings, not that bad. I mean, actually pretty good. But I think the outlook was disappointing. So it's down a little bit today. It's only down 40%, down 94 at 139. And that's the fear. I think that's the overhang in this particular phase of the market right now, that we're getting such selectivity in this rotational top. And I do call it a top because I think there's a kind of a digestive phase that's needed. It's needed now in the NASDAQ. It's needed in the SMHs. I don't even want to mention the word SMH. SMH, the semiconductor index, I wanted right on the day of the high, 318.82. That's where we started some shorting positions, to use the SMHs as the short, because I feel always that when I get the SMHs right, I can put a stop based on the SMH itself of about 7 points. And I'm usually, if that works, it's usually good. And it would have been great. I could have withheld all the little bounces, but I'm using such a crazy trading vehicle that it keeps, we make a little bit, we lose a little bit, make a little bit. And now what we're looking at, we got stopped out, and the darn thing is now really working its way higher. But the SMHs has got the dreaded H pattern. We've been talking about that for ages. So we're talking about a rotation that's going now from the QQQs and the SMHs, which have been leaders, and certainly the SMHs. And if you look at NVIDIA, look at this. What a nice call. 346.47. I said it made a 319 round number low. If there are two closes above the 319 level, That's going to be quite important. And here we are at 308.20 underneath the 14-period moving average. It's still nothing. It's only just now getting to the gap that started NVIDIA on the 17th at a high of 305.09. Next day it gapped up, even though it was a red candle. Next day it gapped up with a low of 313.21. So it hasn't even filled in the gap yet. So we'll see if it does. Most importantly, what I'm looking at is, look at this, MU, Micron. This is Technical Friday, so we're going to get into some of the technicals. 89.05 high, same day, 85 round number low. If it closes above 85 for 2 bars, that's a good sign. Not a great sign, but a good sign. So it's at 82.18 right now after hitting 84.43 earlier this morning. And this has got a reversal arch pattern. We'll see if it starts to trade the next 2 days under 80, then it's all over for Micron in the short term, not the weekly or the monthly, just the short term and the daily. What are we looking at here? I wrote down a bunch. And of course, you heard Marvell attack in the semiconductor, one of the leaders in the semiconductor field, spirals up to a leg D in the monthly chart, spirals up to a G/C in the weekly chart, goes to an all-time high with the daily going. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is an alternate count G/C. So it actually it gave a very nice sell signal at 76.12, and it pulls back quite sharply to 69, 7 points, a 10% correction. And then lo and behold, it comes out with earnings last night. And one of the earnings must have been fabulous because it spirals up to 88.49. It's trading right now at 85.89. I suspect it's going to give back and go into that gap in the next couple of days. Now, what else are we looking at here in that sector? We've got advanced micro devices. Advanced micro devices, 164.46 4 days ago. Now it's trading at 145. I would say that's 20 points lower. Very, very weak leg D in the monthly chart. Leg G/B in the that was the weekly. The monthly chart is G/B. This is giving back. It's just digesting. What about Xilinx? Xilinx, I think that's already been. Yep, that turned down 329.79 high on the 30th of November. Yep, 30th of November. Trading now at 217. 22 points down. So I suspect that we're looking at is a rotational correction with the Dow probably holding a little bit better, but you've got to be very, very, very careful. Yeah, look at the VIX index. I mean, really. A good session today, up $1.90 at 29.85. That's not good for the overall market. Looks to me like it wants to get to a leg D. We don't always get Ds in the VIX index because it's an emotional indicator, but you did get a leg D in the weekly chart. And this will be the first time in years that you've got 2 weeks with green candles, and we don't know yet where it's going to close. But if it closes above the high of the 24th, the week of the 24th of September, 28.79, that's going to be really important. It's at 29.93 right now. Why? Because that means that fund managers are buying this and they're trying to hold it because they believe that the market's kind of vulnerable. That becomes very important. I'll be back in a moment. We want to look at gold. Gold is right now trading up 8. It's just stuck in that range.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
All right, we're back, and we're looking at the Dow. Now, that was Mike. Biden's down 12 at 336 and broke that support. Yes, very nice chart. Thank you, GT. That was a very nice assessment of that double bottom low. It's just taking it out. I'd just be real careful if you're looking at shorts. I think these Chinese stocks as shorts. You're absolutely correct. This is the way to look at it. Just at least for this phase, looking as the FXI finally took out the left side low that we were looking at and expected in the arch formation, trading at 37.40, down 0.96. All right, let's get back to our story. This is really important. Why? Look what's happening here. Let me just show you something technical Friday. Let's do some of the technicals. Look at the way. Let me take a moment. I'm going to open this up and we'll talk about this particular chart. You see these arch formations, and I always say that the market's just made up of straight lines, down or up, arch formations, or cup formations. Yeah, the arch could be like an inverted V, or the cup could be like a V, but it's the same point action of going from one point down and then retesting that point that you came from, or going from one point up and then coming and retesting. That's all it is, all the time. So what really is important is that if you look at the pattern, even look at the kind of arch time frame that you keep seeing, you're in an area right here in the Dow where it hit the 200 period moving average. So you say, big deal. What's the use of 200 period moving averages? I think over the last 18 years, at least 19 years that I've been here, I think a lot of people have started to find out that just keeping certain technical tools on your chart, you don't have to use them all the time, but when you need them, they become really important. And this particular instance, let me just show you something. Maybe I'll use this. Let's just squeeze this chart, close it, close. The last time that the 200 period was hit was back in 2020 on the October the 30th at 26,143. And that had been hit a few times, but it held beautifully as key support. Look at this. You went over and under and over and under. this is very important. You're going all the way back to where it started to bump up against it. This whole area of kind of May, June, call it June to, July of 2020. And then that became your support level. So did you need it? You didn't need it when you're at the top, but when you were hugging the line, it was absolutely imperative that you keep an eye on it. And all you had to do is keep an eye on it. So I'm saying I've kept an eye on it, and it just touched the 200-period moving average. It's the first time since October of 2020. This is now December of 2021, so it's 14 months. And I'm saying that makes it important. It also makes it, in a sense, a magnet, because it says you could bounce up, but there's a good chance from the history of this particular 200-period moving average that you're going to come back and test the 34,000 level at some point again. That's number one. Number two is it becomes a propellant line when the price goes enough above it that it, and in time and price, that it can start to ignore the magnetic attraction. I don't see that happening for a while. So for subscribers, we're trying to play the upside a little bit, a very tight stop, but at the same time, we're aware that if the NASDAQ 100, the QQQ trading vehicle, if that's going to be weak, it doesn't have to collapse, but if it's going to be weak, it's going to have some impact on the Dow 30 at some point. So let's just keep that in mind. So that's just on a purely very simple way of looking at this. And the other way of looking at it is the MACD has only now seen the histogram start to improve a tad. It's still very negative. That means the 9 is still very much below the 14-period moving average. It means that when we started a short position the day of the top of 36,565 on the 8th of November, with that little doji, which turned out to be a doji candle, and we had got in within about 40 points, and then we got stopped out for a gain, but nothing like if we had held it all the way through. Look, now it is ready in time and price because of the number of bars on the downside, just to at least attempt some kind of an up move. But that doesn't make the bigger picture, it doesn't change the bigger picture, which says lower lows and lower highs until you see a significant change of higher highs and higher lows. This is just, if anything's going to happen, this can be called the counter trend bounce. Now let's do the same thing, and we're going to go to the S&P. I thought today, you hardly ever see me do this. I do it all the time for myself and sometimes for my subscribers when I do my overview, but I don't always get the time or take the time. Now look at this. The S&P has a different chart pattern. Look how significantly higher the highs have been and the lows. And even this pullback from 47.43 to the latest pullback of 4,500, was it 45.04? Even that, in leg C to the downside, could be a trough C today, is pretty insignificant. It's just a kind of a blip when you're looking at it, right? Yes, it is more than a third of a pullback from the low of 42.78 to 47.43. But at the same time, it's taking its time. It's a high-level consolidation. There's not that much to see here that's very negative, unless you dig deeper and you say, wait a minute, the 9 is still way above the 14 in the S&P daily. The 200 period, unlike the Dow, the 200 period is way down at 4294. Does that mean we're going there? We have no idea. At least I have no idea just yet. But the MACD is still very negative. The histogram for 2 days has been okay. It's improving just a fraction. The stochastic's at 14%. The Dow stochastic daily went down to, I think, 8%. It's now down to 12. It went down to 12%. It's now at 12%. That's very weak. The QQQ stochastic is at 19%. And the MACD has crossed negative. Stochastic is, as I say, 90%. It's still coming down. On balance volume is weak. And today, for the first time, I think we're going to get an S. Yes, we're getting a crossover, negative crossover, the 9 under the 14-period moving average. And if you want to do your Tiger Financial News Network one-to-one lightning bolt to the downside, we pretty much accomplished that, and now we're extending even lower. So this is the time to be very careful in a change of trend in the QQQ, trying to play. Look, it's done the one-to-one before, and then it had a good rally, and then it had a full one-to-one to the downside from the 382.78 high of the 7th of September to the October the 4th low of 354.38. And that just says if it has even a miniature replica, that you could start to get into the 7 right here, the cluster formation in the 372 level. So I'm saying this is a time to be very, very selective. Let's just go to the SMHs now. SMH, sticking his tongue out at me, pulling back down 251 to 302.01, and there's that H pattern. I think we're going to be pulling back within this particular speed. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's now down 47.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, Butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Just a couple of questions came in. Let me just deal with them right now. Coin, which is Coin Global Inc., Coinbase Global Inc. It's a platform, I believe. Trough A, Trough B, Trough C, leg D to the downside, sharply under the 200-period moving average, trying to fill that gap. Building a position, cryptocurrency platform for buying, selling, storing. You know, I'm still negative on the Bitcoin. I think it's not yet ready for the next big phase to the upside. Bitcoin itself is trading 56,310. I thought Ethereum would double top, and there it is, double top exactly. It's pulling back. I just think this is an area just at this particular moment where you've got to be a bit careful. So why don't you think? I would even think time as well as price. So coin is your question. Starting to build. If you've just started to build a position, I would say 267. I would wait just a little longer, even if it gaps up on over the weekend, Sunday night into Monday for some reason. I think that you've got an opportunity to build a position in a sideways motion. I don't want a V-shape turnaround here because I think that's going to fail. I prefer to see it form a base in the 260s. If it goes under 260, I'd say you have to hold off even longer. 224 was the October low before it ran up for 140 points to 368.90 on the 9th of November. 9th was really important. A lot of stocks turned around. So I'd be a little careful here. That's all. And you are thinking of building, so you're talking longer term. But from the peak E in the daily and the peak, and there was a round number, in fact, that I'd be careful of. This is over the longer term. 320 round number low on the 10th. That makes the 320 area. A close above 320 at any point in the next 4 weeks would say, aha, finally it could start heading towards the upper side. But until then, I just think it's choppy. You'll have a better opportunity. Next question I had was, I just wrote down some of them. Okay. Yes, Cintas. Look at this. After all the jobs, I mean, people are going back into jobs, blah, blah, blah. All I can say is Cintas is telling us overall uniforms rentals, it had a fantastic move going from the low 300s to 452.74 on the 22nd of November. It made that double top-ish pattern, peak G in the weekly chart, leg B, only a leg B in the monthly. And this was the one that had a good session yesterday and a great session earlier today, up to 440.55. And lo and behold, here it is at 428.32, down 3. It just means you need time. And I'm looking at lower lows coming in almost all the indices. I'm just thinking that for now, the rotation should favor, just in the shorter term, some kind of strength in the Dow more than anything else. And that's really what I'm looking at. I think the Qs are giving us the clue. The SMHs today, if there is a sharp turnaround in the SMHs, there has already been. It's not sharp enough. But if the SMHs by the end of the day actually close underneath 300, actually I'm going to say under 299.50, that's going to be the clue that says, uh-oh, there's a problem here. And that's what we're looking at. Remember, if you can look at this as rotational, that markets make tops in a rotational fashion. And until some of these stocks, like a Microsoft, I mean, what a spectacular stock, down sharply today, finally 349.67 high on the 22nd of November. Look at, let's just go through Facebook. You're not going to get me to call it whatever else they're calling it, Meta platform. It's Facebook. 353.83 was the high back in November, but the all-time high was, why didn't I type that in? The all-time high was 384.33 back in September, the week of the 3rd. And here it is at a lower low than 4 weeks ago at 305. It's still got a bit of a way to go. I'm just looking at these and I'm saying, hey, we've had a spectacular run. Cisco was catching up for a little while, still acting much better than the others. Cisco Systems, 5G, cybersecurity, subscription, transition, just a whole bunch of things. It's up 15 cents at 56.30, holding much better, filled the gap. And now I think it could be ready for a little bit more of a consolidation. This is one of the better chart patterns, but it's not great. It did almost a 1-to-1 to the downside in the weekly chart. That was the only way I could count it was a peak B right there. And this says, if there's a Chapman wave unconventional flat-based restart, I'm going to focus on this because I've got another one here, which is Apple. If this is an unconventional flat-based restart, Cisco is going back to 50.10, and it's a 56.24, and it should do that fairly soon. So let's just look at Apple. What do I mean by a flat-based restart? It means that I can't count it any other way than a peak C right now, unless this instant restart at peak D in the Chapman methodology on the 20th of October, one bar pull back for peak D and one bar up for a new recovery high, and then it pulls back and it makes an F, even a G, and then that G pulls back below the D even. It goes right down to 146.41. Well, you hardly ever get all-time highs in the daily at a peak C. There's always another way to count it in the Chapman methodology. I don't want to fake things, so all I can say is I'm calling it a C for now, but it could be Chapman fact-based restart like the one we saw in Cisco that has a chance to go all the way back to the low that was made, significant low after peak D in an earlier time frame. That's a G, or it's a G/B. This goes to C, that goes to D. So all I can say is just keep it in mind. Apple down a little bit, 30 cents, no big deal. I still say whatever they come out with in their proclamations, I still say, come on, what are people going to buy this holiday season? Apple always gets the benefit of the doubt. It's just an easy thing. They've got so many options, says the person who has just about no Apple products. My wife does, but I don't. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on. I want to talk about IYT. IYT. Yeah, this is the transportation index. Was doing fantastic. Coincided with the Dow. Remember, the Dow made its high on the 8th of November. On the 5th of November, the iShares Dow Jones Transportation Index went towards its all-time high, not at it. It went towards it, 281.45. All-time high was in May, back at 287.40. I did make a beautiful cup formation. I can't tell you how many double tops I've got it written down. I can't tell you how many round numbers either. But look what happened. It looked fantastic just a month ago, exactly a month ago. And lo and behold, it plummets down to the 254 area. 30 points, about 12% correction. Wow. And look, here's a Chapman wave, a Roman candle being formed today in the weekly. If at any point next week, the transportation index on any day now, looking at the weekly chart, talking about a shorter time frame, if any day for 3 hours, the transportation, the IYT, trades under 259, halfway into this wick, there's a good chance it's going to retest the lows. That's why this 200-period moving average balance is really important, because here again, I think there's a chance that we could see an arch formation and then we start to turn over. So remember, we're oversold in a short-term position in some areas. Other areas are just beginning to turn down. I'll be back in a moment. A couple of questions in the den, a couple of questions in YouTube. I'll be back in and
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD, Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3x bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Folks, Dow's now down 167, S&P is down 41, and we've got that sell-off. The Q's already accelerating. Yeah, this is Investors Business Daily. Today's market, uptrend under pressure. Several leaders struggle as distribution days increase. So respect that. And the fact is that even if you're playing a counter trend rally, which I make it the tightest stop of all, there's no need to be a hero in this particular market. And I still say having a good cash position, nothing wrong with that. It's really important. You're going to get fantastic opportunities. And, if what's ever working is really important. Fortunately for us, we've got one position here, a short position, that's kind of making up for the silly move in the stocks, in the SMHs, the short position that we had that didn't work out. It was very small, but still, I'm really upset because we've nailed it exactly. But you've got to have a lot of room if you're playing 3 times short. I don't do that. I keep it the same as if it was one time short, because the percentage is the percentage. So in the meantime, back in the rest, that's what we're looking at. And we are seeing a relative outperformance with the Dow down only 0.50, S&P down 0.90, almost down a percentage. And the QQQ, if I can see across there, it was down 1.8. This is exactly what I was looking at. And the fear I had was that the Qs would pull back any strength that we saw in anything that was strong. So in the meantime, back at the ranch, let's go on. I wanted to talk. So the IYT is trying to rally here. It's held okay. Basil, could you please review the VXX and the SQQ? All right, well, SQQ, the QQQ is the Index 100 trading vehicle, the Invesco QQQ Trust Series. It's just made a lower low than yesterday. It's trading down 7. We have the SQQQ. SQQQ. Come on. There you are. Okay. And it's trading up at 685. We're long from, there we go, long from 582. So this is almost a point to the upside. That's a big percentage, 12-13%. But at the same time, this is leg B in the SQQQ. So if you're long, what I'm going to say is I would be looking to add to the position, because I think the Qs have just started their rotation to the downside. It's their turn, that's all. Everybody else has had a digestive phase. The Qs need a digestive phase, not a big deal. It'll be a big deal if certain things happen, but they haven't happened yet. And part of that big deal would be is if the SMHs become the leader to the downside. They haven't done that yet at all. The Qs are leading, and I want more specificity. In other words, when the Qs start to really take out 292 of support, Okay, then it's open season, and we can go down quite a bit from there. Now, here's the other thing that I'm looking at. So the VIX index. So the VIX index, at this point, it should be pushing higher. It hasn't gone to a leg D above 32.61, but the fact that it held so well, let me just show you this on a weekly basis. I used to have everything. I've done it on the monthlies. I've got each time. It's always the same thing. It always has to do with interest rates, to do with the Fed, has to do with China, has to do with, for the last year or so, it's had to do with coronavirus. I mean, what are we looking at here? But look at this, Fed virus. This leg D to the upside, it's the first time. Look at these weekly candles. Find me a weekly candle that had the previous week strong green, and then the following week it was a very strong green candle. This is the first time since, I don't even want to talk about it, since we broke out on the week of the 28th of February at 49.48, and they followed that with a green candle on the week of the 6th of March, and another green candle, and each time we pulled back from the highs, the week of the 13th of March of 2020, and lo and behold, it hit 85.47. I wrote it incorrectly. It's not 84.57, but 85.47. The week of the 20th of March. Remember, we went long that very morning, the morning of March the 23rd, via options in the Dow, and then we went long on the 3rd of April, we went along the diamonds, and we still hold those as a core position, taking little bits of profit. And then we've traded that up and down with the diamonds and the DOG, long and short, long and short, long and short. And right now, we've got a long position, and all I'm saying is that we've got very tight stop, and all I want you to do is to try to play some kind of, I usually don't like to do this, especially when I've got confliction with a sector that has been so important, starting to fail. But I thought, we'll see what happens. And so that's what we're looking at. So yes, this VIX index holding, if it holds into the day's young, this could get really ugly later on. We could have we haven't seen these for ages. I used to talk about if at mid-session, at noon, if the market is down sharply or up sharply, and there's just a minor consolidation, like a propeller shaft, and then it continues in that same direction, you could start to see a double on the day. I don't want to see a double on the day. That would make the Dow down. It's not even 12 o'clock yet. That would see the Dow down very sharply, and you would see the S&P, which is now already down at 51, even worse. I shouldn't complain, because that would make the NDX, the QQQs, very, very ugly on the downside. All right, well, here we go. The VXN question came in. VXN, this is the dollar VXN. Yes, VXN, I haven't updated this for ages. I used to do it all the time. Wow, if I had this notated from I have it somewhere in the library, but I just don't have it here. You would see that this is the NDX 100 volatility index. It had a spiral on the 23rd of March to 84.67. 85.47 was the Dow. So it was just under the Dow. And then it pulled back sharply, and now it's trading at 32.51 on a monthly basis. Look at the weekly. Weekly, huge candle at the high of the day, at the high of the week. And it's full green. Look at the daily, gone from peak A, peak B, peak C, peak D. Starts fresh. A, B, this is C, or it's G. G/C. Oh, man, this is ugly. So this is going to say, be careful. All right. So with that said, the next thing we want to do is to look at, I wanted to go to, let's see, IBD. Yes. Oh, I forgot all about it. So a couple of questions came in. I didn't do that. BBBY. BBY. This is BBY. What is this? Not bad looking. All right. BBBY is Best Buy. You know what? It made a peak G. It had a round number close, it hit 141.97 on the 25th of November. Had a round number 138 close, and it's gapped down, and now it's at 104, 40 points lower. Where's the base? I don't see a base just yet. Look at the weekly.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, we're back. Final segment before I hand you over to Larry Pesavento, Larry Pesavento, Thinkorswim. We've got Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Look at this shop. This is Shopify, a fantastic company, online store for individuals to use as a platform. Makes an all-time high of 1762.92, pulls back, peak F, and pulls back. And then right there at about 1560 or so, the CEO comes on and discusses everything's just fantastic. And in a way, he's kind of right because that's where it's been. But now it's gone to today's low of 1382, right on the 200-period moving average. And unfortunately, the banking stochastic looked like it might have to go a little lower before it tries to turn to the upside. But sideways consolidation in the weekly chart. This is one of the best of the best. Shopify, SHOP, trading down 65 at 1381. A couple of quick questions that I had. Ford Motor, I think it's in a rectangle formation. My suspicion is it's going to have some kind of a pullback. These rectangle formations, very often, you can pop once to the upside, but if they come back into the trading band, you can go right through the bottom. We saw that. I don't want to waste time. We saw that in the 10-minute chart, I believe, of the S&P earlier this morning. Another thing we're looking at here is did that. Oh, SPG. This is Simon Properties. Made I can't tell you how many perfect double tops. 171.01 in November, and a little later in November it goes to 171.12 in a cup formation. Doji candle pulls back, and here it is trading at 148. I mean, there are just too many stocks like this. Please be careful. Please be very selective. ITB. What's ITB again? ITB question is, iShares US Home Construction. Yeah, that's at a high. Oh, I'll have to do that on Friday. But if you look at the HGX, it's the same sort of thing. It's just kind of double topping here. It could be pulling back a little bit. It's still holding pretty well, but I think it's going to consolidate. So stay tuned. Check out my opening call, my daily newsletter, and be back, of course, in a moment for the news. And then I'm out of here. So have a wonderful weekend. See you on Monday.